The story of Saint Francis Caracciolo.
Subscribe to our channel to receive more content like this.
This is the story of a man who gave up comfort, privilege, and power to serve others in the name of God. His name, Francis Caracciolo, a nobleman from Naples, Italy. Born in 1563, he seemed destined for a life of ease and influence. But, as you'll see, his story takes a turn that no one, maybe not even he, expected. Francis, whose birth name was Ascanio Caracciolo, was born into wealth and nobility. His family had titles, land, connections. He could have done anything he wanted. And for a while, it looked like he'd follow the typical noble path: study, politics, maybe a nice marriage. But as a young man, he already had a deep faith. He prayed often, helped the poor, and felt a tug in his heart towards something more, something deeper. Then everything changed. In his early 20s, Francis got terribly sick. So sick that people thought he was going to die. And as he lay in bed, helpless, something inside him woke up. He began to pray with new intensity and made a promise to God: "If you heal me, I'll give my life completely to you." And guess what? He recovered. The illness left. He got better. But unlike many who make promises when things get tough, Francis didn't forget. He meant every word. He gave up his noble title and inheritance. He left his comfortable life behind. He moved to Naples and began to study for the priesthood. From that moment on, he lived simply, eating little, sleeping little, praying much. He wanted to be close to God and close to the people who suffered. One day, Francis met a priest named John Augustine Adorno. The two quickly became friends. Both dreamed of creating something new, a group of priests who would live simply, serve the poor, and adore the Eucharist, day and night. Together with another priest, they founded a new religious order, the Clerics Regular Minor. Now, that might sound like a mouthful, but think of it this way. These were men who wanted to be less, so Christ could be more. They added minor to their name to remind themselves to be humble, to stay small in the world's eyes and big in God's. Francis spent his life traveling between cities, setting up new communities, caring for the poor, and, most of all, adoring Jesus in the Eucharist. He wanted every moment of his life to be filled with prayer and service. In fact, the order he co-founded kept a tradition of perpetual adoration, meaning someone was always praying before the Blessed Sacrament, day and night. Francis believed the world could be transformed, not through power or politics, but through love, sacrifice, and prayer. Later in life, Francis was offered a higher role, something prestigious in the church, but he turned it down. He didn't want attention. He didn't want authority. All he wanted was to serve. In 1608, While visiting one of the communities his order had started, Francis became very sick. At just 44 years old, he quietly passed away on the eve of the Feast of Corpus Christi, the very celebration of the body of Christ he had adored so deeply. It felt fitting. His whole life had been centered on Jesus in the Eucharist, and he died the night the Church honored it most. Saint Francis Caracciolo's life reminds us that even in a world full of noise and ambition, a quiet heart devoted to God can shine brighter than gold. He left behind comfort for compassion, privilege for poverty, and recognition for service. And he shows us that holiness isn't about being famous, it's about being faithful.